we'll come back to the Windows. Linux is open source. Actually, Linux, the word itself came from the Linus Torvald. Linus Torvald is a guy who took a Unix operating system, some part of Unix operating system, build a own kernel, his own kernel. So, and he put it into the public. So this is the current available version is 6.9.3. You can download this kernel and develop a, a operating system. You can develop as an operating system and distribute it as with any name you want it. You don't require any license or a permission to do that one because it is non-proprietary. Non-proprietary means no one is owning this operating system. Guys, what is meant by open source? You may hear these things. What is it? Open source application, open source softwares, open source applications or a softwares operating system. What is meant by open source? It does not mean free. It means the source code. It is the source code of the application or a software or operating system is available. Okay. Source code is available like this. The source code is available so then anybody can take and develop and distribute. Actually, it is developed by Linus Torvald, but it is a non-proprietary, means anybody can take it and develop it and distribute it. See, so anyone can distribute Linux based voices, examples, Fedora, Ubuntu, CentOS, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, Debian, SUSE, OpenSUSE, Kali Linux, Blacktrack Linux. These are all comes from the Linux flavors only. There is a different Linux distributions are done by different organizations and different people. Originally, it is developed by Linus Torvalds, but it is no proprietary and open source itself. So people come up and build the Linux versions as even Microsoft has its own Linux operating system. Linux is mainly more powerful CLI, lesser GUI. Okay, the CLI is more powerful. You can administrate entire Linux system using command line. In GUI based tools are very lesser. Linux is basically case sensitive. Free license possible, right? So you want to download and install and work with it. Generally, don't require to pay anything for it. Okay. But if you need a support, if you are using a Linux operating system, but you need a support from the Oracle or a Red Hat or maybe from Fedora, you want a support, you have to pay for the support. Okay. And server, it's a mostly use it as a server wise only. Lesser the desktop came, like Ubuntu desktop is there, Linux Mint desktop is also there. Like a lesser the desktop flavors, most of the Linux is server only. Okay, and it is a multi-user, multitasking, lesser hardware footprint. Okay, guys, look at here. You know, So when I started doing some practicals, like when I do like mostly the practices on the Linux system, I install most of my DevOps applications like Ansible, Docker, Git, Jenkins, all these things work smoothly on the Linux base. This is a Linux OS, but this is a GUI mode, so I use 4 GB. This is a Linux. It's a pure CLI. I use 512 MB RAM. 512 MB RAM, not even 1 GB RAM. See, this is also 512 MB RAM. This is also 512 MB RAM. Okay. So the Linux itself, it is consume lesser the hardware requirement, like less CPU, less hard disk storage space, less RAM capacity. Okay, we'll come back to the Windows. Windows is not a open source. The source code of Windows operating system is not available to anyone outside. Okay, it's a proprietary of Microsoft. The Microsoft owning this one. You want to use, you have to pay for the license. Okay, in Microsoft Windows, you have to pay for the license. Then only you can use Microsoft products. More UI based. Of course, why Windows operating systems are more highlighted than any other OSs, the experience with the GUI interface. And GUI interface make a people to easy to understand and navigate into the system. Lesser CLI command base is very less. Microsoft distributed operating system. No others is take and develop their own, right? So it is because of the source code is tightly set up. Okay, Microsoft distribute OS. They will build it, they will distribute it, and you have to purchase it. You have to pay for the license. Okay. In Microsoft Windows, you have desktop-based devices like Windows 10 is a desktop OS, Windows 11 desktop OS, Windows servers like a 2016 server, 2023 server. Okay, sorry, 2016 server, 2019, 2022. All these things are a desktop-based server operating system. So we have server as well as desktop-based OSs. It is user friendly. So not required to be a master in a user system. Just if you know the basics, you can start working on system. So it will teach everything to you. Okay. Administrator. So the administrator is by default in Windows is admin account means highly privileged user account it is. It is a single user multitasking type. Single user multitasking type. Only one user can able to. Since the Windows operating system is basically GUI based, so obviously that more hardware resources are utilized as compared to Linux. Okay. Again, come back to the Linux guys. Linux is basically a kernel developed by Linus Torvalds. And this kernel is distributed publicly so that people can take it, develop their own operating system, or if they want, they will distribute. Okay. So some people say Linux is virus free, as it is. But what is the thing is there is a certain different viruses can able to attack Windows system. Okay, Windows system. But those kind of viruses won't work with Linux because Linux don't understand what is .exe, not a self-executable files. It won't support. Okay, .exe kind of stuff comes with certain viruses like Win32 type of viruses. So obviously there is no detection, right? So like, okay. So Linux won't react with this kind of .exes kind of stuff. The Linux won't work. Of course, Linux and is not much easy like a Windows as user friendly. It is less user friendly. Okay. So it need a professionals to work at it because mainly Linux are used for server purpose only, and you need a specific trainer to understand how to administrate Linux systems. Okay, not for anyone like you open it and yes, I know this is the click, this is the click, not happen because mostly it is CLI based on. Okay, Here it is root, there is a administrator, the highly privileged user. The Linux is root. Okay. So single user, multitask, multi-user, multitask. Required more hardware footprint to run because of GUI. It is lesser GUI, so then lesser hardware footprint. Guys, these are the basic difference between Windows and Linux. Also, yourself you can find the basic differences between different mobile operating systems like Android and iOS. And also you can try to try to get some information between the Windows OS and Mac OS. Okay. Some people got this question and confused. This is called a web browser. Purpose of web browser is to access websites. Purpose of web browser is to access the website. And purpose of operating system to run applications. To run an application. Okay. Interact with the user. Interact with your hardware. So that is the purpose of operating system. Both are different entities. Okay. So any questions? Anything?
No, sir.
Very good. Okay. That's it for today, guys. Meet you tomorrow. So tomorrow I will try to discuss about a device drivers and mainly system configuration, device drivers, how to add a printer, or I will go for a networking directly because that is a huge pending is there. Okay, so then we'll go to the networking. Once we are completed networking, then we can come back and we'll discuss by the given time. Okay, that's it for today. Meet you tomorrow. Bye.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, you can leave. You do not have